Good morning, everybody. This is Kurt H. I am the Lazy Farmer. What's up, CSX? I'm going to call you CSX Tailgater. I saw your message in there. Hello, I am doing fine. I hope everybody else is doing fine as well, too. And believe it or not, I'm only working on my first cup of coffee. Hello, hello. Yep, no, I'm sad. I was thinking about how to say hello. I don't know. It was a small little thing, and somehow my mind went to the old Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter. It's amazing what our brains retain and then what they don't at the most inopportune moments. Anyway, here we are again, Run8 Train Simulator. And we brought the first train into the Riverbank yard. Let's see, let's do this. Let's get these guys moving here. First of all, I want to get them off of here. So, alright, and open the coupler, and we're going to go ahead and... So right now, we're just going to do some flat switching here in Riverbank. I've got a train load of cars that came in for the LCal 0315. I got to get used to that, L315. And the Met. So we're going to sort those out, and we're going to hopefully be able to get some cars delivered today. What's up, Derek? How you doing? Morning to ya. So, all right. Anyway, good day yesterday. I worked a little. I worked for most of the day. Well, no, I want to say about half a day, and then I came here and hung out in Discord and answered questions. And I'll be doing that today too. Just after the stream, I'll be hanging out in my Discord, answering questions, solving problems. Jerry had a big problem. We got him sorted, so that was good. A good day all the way around. So let's see. I got no football. My 49ers are on a bye, so no football really I'm going to be paying attention to. Our boys at the school I work at, they made the playoffs Friday, so we'll see if they can survive the first round. But they're in. Proud of that. Let's see what else. I'm working on. I'm going to go down and add my. I'm thinking about doing it right now. I'm going to go down and add an industry right there at Avenue 9. Which on the last stream I pointed out was my son's ranch. So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna add his ranch because there's a little spur there. There's no reason. I mean, as I look at the spur and the size of it, okay, you know what? Maybe it's like a helper or something. No, there's no reason. This is all flat land out here where we live. So I'm gonna drive down. You know, let me fly down there real quick, and we will go ahead as soon as I get connected here. We'll set up a industry quick and dirty. Was doing some research yesterday on where to send the cars. It's easy enough. This is BNSF, so I can send Chicago, Kansas City, things like that. But I'm more looking at he's going to need reefer cars. So if he loads a reefer car, what industry right now here in Southern California can take a loaded reefer car? And especially, and being kind of logical about it. And actually on this particular DLC here on the, over, I believe, let me take a look at the map real quick. I've got, hang on, before I do that, let me show you what I am looking at. There it is. There we go. Looking at the map here. So we're working right here in the Riverbank yard. I believe, let's see, where did I see it? Yeah, right here. Okay, page 2. Pardon me. McLean Distribution. That's a legit, very legit, very big distributor here where I live, and that's what they do. They have goods that come in for grocery stores, and then they deliver to grocery stores. Another big one too, on the Roseville map, there's Save Mart distribution. Well, there's also a Save Mart distribution right here where we live as well too. It's on the other side of the freeway from McLean Distribution and closer to the Union Pacific tracks. But the way they modeled it, there's nothing there. And I know that there isn't a line that goes into that Save Mart, but I was kind of hoping that there might, or some way I can model that. So anyway, it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and do that. Actually, I'll figure out, I'll go find out the local, which is probably the LCal 0315. It runs out of Riverbank and goes south almost all the way down to Fresno and then back again. So if you work that one, that's a 200-mile day. Every day you work it. So it's 100 miles from Riverbank to Fresno. So 200 miles. But anyway, I could do that. Have, let's see, Avenue 9 right here. This is the little spur right here I'm talking about. I can put a couple of cars in here, I think, and then pick it up and bring those cars either back to Riverbank to go to Barstow to get out of, get off the map, or come here, get sorted into another LCal 03, and then delivered to McLean. Or maybe even on the way back, just deliver it. I don't know if they would do that in real life. I kind of doubt it. I think they would just pick it up and then take it back and let it get sorted into the next local. That seems like the most logical way to do it. So anyhow, I'll leave the map up so you guys can see where I'm working. I'm also looking for cars for here, Riverbank Industrial Complex. I flew over there. There's really only one industry in there. There's lots of spurs right now as the map sits. There's a lot of extra little spurs, so you can actually create your own, your own companies in here if you wanted to. But we've got 3 industries that are right off this yard, so I'm looking for cars that are marked TWT, SIC, and over here it won't be marked RIC, it's ROT. So this is why I flew over there. So those are the cars I'm looking for. So anyway, let's get into it. Boom, boom, boom. Got my coffee, and of course I'm going to do the very gratuitous, obviously if you like my videos and enjoy watching them, hey, subscribe, thumbs up, helps the analytics. The analytics are interesting. I was looking into some stuff there, and yeah, you're going to see some little slight changes on past videos, because I'm going to add, instead of just saying Run8, I'm going to add Train Simulator to it, because I know there's people out there looking for train simulators. That's what I was doing, and my goal is to maybe help those people find Run8, the best train simulator out there. In fact, I had a discussion. Did you just reconnect on me? Sir, you sure did. Did I not uncouple because I was monologuing? Like, that never happens before. Yeah, I forgot to uncouple. I know I did. So I'll tell my story again on how I found Run8. I like model railroading. I really do. I mean, I had an N gauge layout, and then I had an HO gauge layout. Not going to tell you what happened to. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? I'm not paying attention. Hang on. I want to be on those cars. Once again, I'm monologuing. Hey, I'm making mistakes, so you guys don't have to. So now you know. Don't monologue while you're playing Run8. But anyway, yeah, so here I am, an adult, and well, that's debatable too. But I was looking for something to scratch the itch. I wanted a model railroad layout. Don't have the room for what I really want, so I needed something that would scratch that itch. And I went looking for, I started doing my searches for train simulators. And Train Sim World came up. Some others came up. Open Rails came up, but Run8 never did. And honestly, I mean, it hadn't have been for one individual that I'm going to cheat here. Watch the hoses. Boom, connected. Yeah, I just hit the F7 cheat. I have that button mapped to my rail driver. I use rail driver. I don't use keyboard. I do encourage people that if you can get a rail driver, do it. If you have that extra 250, I think is the max I've ever seen it. It's worth it. You know what? You taught me everything you know, Quincy. I'm saying I learned it all from you. So, good morning, Quincy. How you doing? Hey, man, those burritos I had yesterday were outstanding, and I'm actually paying for it this morning. So, yeah, no, all it took was one person. And I think I was watching a video at Train Sim World, and it took one person going, hey, this looks like a really nice simulator, but it's no Run8. Yes, you are a bad influence, because sometimes I want to punch my engineer. Oh, did I bring that up? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, that's all it was one person saying it's no Run8, which made me go, what is Run8? So I started searching for Run8 and found some really good videos, and I found some really bad videos on Run8, and so I had to kind of sort out the ones that you do what you do, you find one that you like, and you start following the guy, and I did that, and I learned a lot. Because the individual that I started following, which he doesn't stream so much anymore, and I wish he would, is an actual conductor for Norfolk Southern, and so his videos were nice and long. I fell asleep to him at night. But I learned a lot about how to manipulate Run8. I learned a lot about railroading in general. Met people like Quincy, who works for CSX. Yells at me a lot, especially when I don't share my burritos. So, but yeah, I mean, and that's how I got started. And honestly, Run8, there are some good train games out there. Railroader is a really good train game. Oh yes, you did. Oh yes, you did. Ah, okay, there you are. Okay, I got who you are now. You know what? And if you're doing that, my initial, and this is from my experience, the first thing I would tell anybody, CD, I'm just going to call you CD, and anybody else that's out there, is it is so easy to get caught up in the minutia of Run8 and take away from just the experience, and so my advice to anybody is, you want to get into all the ins and outs and what you can do and how you can do it. We'll get these cars moved over into this line, that track right there. So I need to throw this switch to get it out of my way. And we're going to throw this one so we go in. And I play very casually. Now, thank you to Quincy, once again, bad influence. But if you join my Discord and you have access to the NorCal channel, there is a channel in there that is labeled the G-Core Manual. Quincy was the one that pointed that out to me, so I've actually basically copied and added that link. So if you really want to know how to operate a train prototypically, read that manual. That's the Bible. And it's I think G-Core is basically west of the Mississippi. There's another book that's for railroads that are east of the Mississippi, but they're basically the same thing. So that's why I only have not because I'm saying that all railroads west of the Mississippi are better, which they are, but it's not worth it having both manuals up there. So if you just take time to read the G-Core manual, If you want to learn how to play more prototypically, you will learn an awful lot. And once again, thanks to Quincy on that one. I guess I do owe him a burrito for that. So, but we're going to get these cars in here, and I said we're going to pop down to Avenue 9, and I will show how to, if you haven't done it, if nobody's ever done it, which is another point of this channel, is I want to teach people stuff and help them. We're going to go ahead and set up an industry, just quick and dirty, get it in place, so that if we call for more cars for the LCal 0315, we'll get hopefully a car or two for his industry, and that's going to be my son's industry. I just feel if you're going to go down the rabbit hole, which is Run8, I just feel like you should experience it all the way it was intended to be. Okay, so let me be honest with you, Quincy. You're right. No, it is. I mean, and that's the Depot Plus side of things. So if you decide to, hey, you want to go for Depot Plus, I encourage that too. All right, read the G-Core manual, because almost everybody over there at Depot Plus they're all retired railroaders or active duty railroaders, and they play exactly how they work. So I started playing Run8 since 2 weeks, and I have so much fun learning the yard tag industries. I have so much more fun than running a train. You know what? You're not wrong, Zimba Bauer. I probably murdered that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you Invader Zim. Remember that cartoon? So Zim, no, you're right. I mean, sometimes when I come on, I don't want to run a train. You know, I mean, that's the beauty of Run8 is you can do whatever it is you want to do. So I have it down to 3 things. You can work locals as number 1. You can run a road train. That's number 2. Or like on a model railroad, what's the 3rd thing? Working on the scenery. And I'm doing air quotes here. The scenery would be manipulating industries, setting up road trains, you know, or through trains, so that, you know, they'll spawn and they'll come through and add life to the map. Changing out industries so that cars will go from one location to another and then back again, or potentially go off the map. I'd like to do that. You know, to simulate the flow of goods from one industry to another, and then to complete a process for a finished good. That's when those cars go off the map. That's true. I mean, that's the whole thing about it, Quincy, is that in railroading, nothing is fast, and that was something that I learned. Because I never had an issue with in a model railroad with things going really bad. I've had trains disappear because I forgot to set handbrakes. I go off to go, like I'm going to do here in a minute, go work on go set up an industry, and I come back to go work on the train, and where's my train? My train's not there. My string of cars are gone. Where'd they go? I found them rolling down the track, heading toward Needles, because I didn't set handbrakes. Yeah. So let's see. Set my first local. Okay, you set up your first local yesterday, and now supplying industries. Nice. So yeah, as you see, this is what I'm really doing right now. This is something as I'm bringing in a cut of cars. Now, how did the cut of cars get here? Well, I just spawned it in. Typically, you would have the 2 major. I'm going to call this. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. You know what? I'm just going to call this as a secondary yard. But it's not a destination yard. Well, no, that's not true either. Let me back up. So basically, you've got, for BNSF, you got the Cowell yards, the major yards down in Fresno, south of where we're located right now. And the next major yard, or semi-major yard, not a hump yard, but it would be Stockton. And Stockton's got a huge yard, including, as of today, like they've got a really huge intermodal facility as well too. So you would run a train from Fresno to Stockton. But the train, this would not be a final destination for that train. The train would pass through, and any cars that were built, if the train was built correctly, which would be something I probably would not do, um, they would drop cars for Riverbank, pick up any cars that are outbound from Riverbank, and then continue on up to Stockton. Well, Stockton hasn't shown up yet, and Stockton is coming. That's the exciting thing. Now, yeah, I know that we had some people that say, "Oh, you got to go to this game because Run8's dead." Run8 is not dead. Run8 is far from dead. Oh my goodness. So anyway, excited, exciting times coming. All right, so let's see. Yep, I did apply a brake. Good. Okay, let's pull away. Let's go down and make an industry. I put the handbrake, and they ended up on the main line, blocked the train. See, there you go, Zim. I'm telling you. I mean, that's why I do what I do. Yeah, don't make my mistakes. But you know what? I tell the kids that I work with, because sometimes they'll get down on themselves because, oh man, I made so many mistakes on the test. No, you didn't. What you did is you had an error, and if you don't learn from that error, then yes, it's a mistake. Okay, and that's bad. But what did you learn? Well, I learned that this formula actually is how you write out, and this is the answer. I said, okay, so then you did learn, therefore it's not a mistake. Okay, so. Stockton has me worried and excited at the same. I'm not worried. I'm not. I'm not worried about Stockton at all. I'm hoping, honestly, I'm hoping, and I know Seiko is like 60 miles, between Seiko and Goebel is like 60 miles. So, I don't know if they're just going to roll that in to Stockton, or if they're going to come out with a separate DLC, which we'd have to pay money for. I'm hoping the first, so that we can now run UP trains all the way up. Then of course the next step after Stockton is to tie Roseville in, and I think that that's an easy thing to do. Honestly, it is. I mean, you just once you connect it, now we're going to go all the way up to from. I mean, think about it, Seligman, Arizona, all the way to Sparks. That's exciting. Seligman, Arizona to Sparks, Nevada. Very exciting. The manual, by the way, guys, I was setting up a train, and the manual has got some errors in it. I know, Quincy, you worked out here. I think the manual lists the tag for Riverbank as RBB, Romeo Bravo Bravo. But I believe the correct tag for it is Romeo Victor Bravo RBB. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Quincy, but I meant to look into that. There goes a train that I made. Oh, I forgot. That tells me something right there, too. I forgot to turn on the dispatcher because that train that I had spawn in up here, which this is another one. Okay, it's a unit steel train going from Galesburg, Indiana to Pittsburgh, California. Well, they have it in that manual south, and as I was setting this train up, just for argument purposes, I set it up. It spawns in right up in here, and I realized, wait a minute, it's going the wrong direction. It's going south. Pittsburgh, California is in the San Francisco Bay Area, so this would be one that would spawn, say, maybe down in Fresno, and then come on up, go through Riverbank, go through Stockton, and at Stockton it would actually make a nice left turn and head out the Mariposa subdivision toward the San Francisco Bay Area. So, and I'm trying to think too, in Pittsburgh, I don't know about well, anyway. Let's see, I need to go to the map here real quick. Avenue 9 is Greg. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here. Here we go. BA tag, what that mean I don't find on the depot website. Some of those tags, BA, obviously a two-letter tag would be for Union Pacific. It's going to be an off-map off-map. No, you're right. BAK is Bakersfield. So, yeah, Stockton gives us a direct merge for our. I think that's going to be another DLC, by the way. I'm reading up through the messages here. Yeah, Quincy. Yeah, you're right. I think once Stockton drops, Stockton's going to have a lot. I mean, it's going to have a lot. Um, but once you get to Stockton, I think your next DLC will be the finish, the close of the gap between Stockton and Roseville, because that's about another 40 miles between the two, with industries in between. So they're working, but the thing about it is they're working on it. So I would have to look that up. And there are some good websites out there. You can take a look, and you can look up Union Pacific. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of the website that I go to. Trainorders.com might be a good one. Um, Railroadfan.com was. Oh, you know what? It's going to be railroadfan.com, because that's the one that I was using to try to figure out the tags for Norfolk Southern. And you can probably search through that website and find out what BA is. But you know what? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just going to go off the map anyway. So that's the minutia that I'm talking about. Is don't get tied out. Yeah, is it interesting to find out where that's going? And hey, I know where where that car is going to be heading to. But that's where I've really had to train myself to set that aside. And okay, I just know it's leaving. I don't need to know that. Oops. I don't need to know that it's, where it's going. I just know that it's going. Okay, let's go find the ranch. There it is. All right, once again, representation of my son's ranch, house, the whole bit. And this is where, if we look at, I think I got industry tags are on. There's nothing lighting up here. I think we can get 2, maybe even 3 reefer cars right in here. So there you go. Good job, Derek. Nice CD. It is Baltimore. So now here I'm going to throw this in. Okay. If you have all the DLCs and you're out here in Southern California, and let's say you have a car, you could actually set up an industry out here to put a tag on a car for a car on, say, the Mohawk and Selkirk subdivisions, for an industry on either Mohawk or Selkirk. Now there's a way to get that car there. What's up, Adam? How you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you. So SoCal off-ramp mount, because I use this PDF on the Depot Plus website to know where it goes, but I didn't find it. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. They might add that. I don't think that particular alpha out destination map has been touched in a while. So, but anyway, let's go ahead, and I want Control I. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a new industry. So, and we click on new industry right here. I'm going to go to the name. This is, let me move my rail driver all the way and get my, so so if I'm starting to my first industry from Bakersfield, do I need to tag the train for the first industry and then tag for every other industry? No, 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 no. So what you do on your lead locomotive is, if you say your industry is somewhere between Bakersfield and Fresno, all right. Well, now you got to ask the question: which local actually would eventually deliver that car? So if it's a local that runs out of Fresno, then you just run that train. Your lead locomotive will be would be M-BAK-FRS, and Auto will get it to Fresno. Um, whether it stops in Fresno, that's a whole another issue. That's another conversation. Um, so the best way to honestly, and you're going to see this with Depot Plus, is you would actually see the car. You might see a series of tags on a car, say like BAR space, BAK space, FRS space, and then you'll see a local number. And for giggles, we're just going to say L. Then you'll see L dash cal 0315. That's what I'm working on today. Space, and then the industry tag. That's the entire flow of that car on the map. So, and actually, you could drop a lot out. You could just say, forget the BAR, and that's assuming the car is coming in from, say, somewhere out in Seligman. But it means it's going to go to Barstow first, get sorted into a train for Bakersfield. That car will then go to Bakersfield and then get sorted into another train for Fresno. And then the car would go to Fresno and then get sorted into a train for the local that runs out of Fresno and then get delivered to the industry. But your lead locomotive, you're just going to tag it from its originating yard, final destinating yard, and let Auto run it for you. All right. Let's give this thing a name. This is going to be, the name for this industry is going to be, and I'm actually using my son's real thing. So LLC, boom. Okay. And we're going to say what we're going to see over here will be NCL. And we're going to do this as the, let me get this on here, L cal 0315. And he'll be accepting refrigerated cars. And so he'll have empties because he's going to produce loads. So the car will come in empty, and then it'll produce a load, and it'll go out to, say, we'll go CHI for Chicago, KCK, and then we're going to go, you know what, here's a giggle. Check this out. TU, or how about NP? All off route. But I'm going to ask you the question, what's the difference between all those, what's the difference? But we're going to, basically, you're going to put a delimiter in between them, so there's a comma. So we got Chicago, Kansas City, Tucson, North Platte. To our BNSF network, the other two are Union Pacific network. Yes, you can do that, because now I've got interchange. Somehow, BNSF is going to pick up those cars if they're for Union Pacific, and then get them over, at some point, get them over to the Union Pacific yard. So whether it's most likely West Colton. So they'll go to Bakersfield or go to Barstow, and then Barstow will send them to West Colton. So however you want to do it, it's your model railroad. Do what you want. Anyway, so now we have all this in place. We're going to edit the track. And this is where you got to kind of be very careful, because if I'm moving the cursor, you can see I can put it anywhere. I can actually put the industry on these tracks. So you got to be very careful here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click. And you saw how if I click, they're light blue, and then I click on them, they're yellow. So now the industry has been set. And typically the thing to do is you can go ahead and hit escape. That doesn't change anything. Control I brings up, you haven't lost anything at all, but it keeps you from placing in that industry on other locations, especially if you're working in an area where there's a lot of tracks, like up in in the Modesto area for MET. You could actually mistakenly drop some of this. And I think someone asked me a question. They saw like a little tiny section that had an industry on it on a main line. That's how that happens. So, all right, so it's saved. We're going to go ahead and save this. Edit. Oh, it didn't. Oh, yeah. See, now you hover on it. Let's go over here. Save. What am I missing? I'm missing. Oh, I know what what am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh wait, add industry. I don't want to save. I want to add the industry because we started a new industry. Now we're going to add the industry and then save. Okay, so the industry's there. You can see we got those circles have turned into orange dots now. So that's actually any place you put a car on top of those dots, it's going to get worked. And then finally, I'm going to go to the filters, and I can even select what I want to see for cars. If you leave them all as "niet," which is Russian for no, if you weren't. Oh, anyway. So if you leave them, then you'll get pretty much a mixture of different types of cars. If you want only specific cars to come, then just click them over to where they say "da." And I don't, anyway, Union Pacific, Southern Pacific, Santa Fe. There we go. So we'll get these. We'll get a mixture, these 5 cars, and that's it. And then just make sure anytime you make a change, click Save, hit Escape. Now we got the little dots there all along this track. We have NCL, which is, showing, that's the industry. So now we've added this industry, and next time we call for a train that has the, I need cars for LCal 0315, then Auto will generate and hopefully say, okay, oh, I got one more thing I want to do. I forgot this. Hang on. The other thing I want to do is how many cars can you take? I honestly think he can take 3 cars. So I'll set that to 3. And then how long? Small operation, 24 hours might be a little bit long, especially if you're doing solo. Maybe bump that up to 36 hours. Oops, there we go. And don't forget any change you make, click Save. So there. So the car will sit there for 36 hours. Now, how does that work? Okay, real quick. If you come in right here on date and time, when I first came in, this was showing me a date and a time for late last night when I got back on. And if I click on Use System Time, it'll advance this to the current system time. That time frame from when I drop these cars off, which say it might be 2 days ago, and then I come back 2 days later and click Use System Time, that will count against these cars. It'll advance the time and it'll calculate that car's been sitting there for more than 36 hours. Those cars are now loaded and ready to be picked up. So once that's great if you're running just local and you're not on a server. If you join the NorCal server, Mohawk, or the Pittsburgh, those servers are up and running 24/7. So it's the same thing. It's that if you come back 3, 4, 5 days later, those cars, just through the passage of real time, will actually change their state from loaded to unloaded or unloaded to loaded, and then they're ready to be worked. So, and then they'll show up once they're ready to be worked. When you're in the locomotive that's tagged properly, you'll get a switch list, and you'll see them in your switch list that they're ready to be picked up. So anyway, that's real there. That's how you add an industry. That's how you can get in and change an industry. I'm going to come back down later, and then I will actually add in his industry. I'll leave this. I'm not going to change this, but I will add the industry, like, for, well, actually, what was it? I can do it right now. Actually, let me go look at, I'm at the map. Okay, MCD. Assuming that this is right, and I know it's the LCal, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do comma, and then I can go L-CAL 0315 space, and then MCD, and just leave it. Or if I was going to put something else in, I could put a comma. Anything between the commas, it's going to add that to the car. So now I have potentially these cars not only going off map, or it might be directed to another industry on the map, or I can even do this. And this is what I did on the Mohawk and Selkirk map. Would be I did comma, and NS for Norfolk Southern, space, and then I think it was the N15. Okay, that's the train number, and it would generate that car, and it told me that, okay, this car is going to go from a CSX map, and I'm going to build it into a train for Norfolk Southern, which means that that's going to go to the Pittsburgh map. And I know I'm getting way off base, but this is what you can do with Run8. Once that train's built, copy the train file, and then import the train file into the Norfolk Southern map. Now the train file that I built in Selkirk is now on the Norfolk Southern map, and then it's just a matter of changing the tags, and there's a whole process on that, and I'll get into that on another day. But that is something that you can do. So once again, once this is all done, I'm going to go save. We're good. So now I have 4 off-map locations and then a 5th location to go from his ranch to McLean Distribution. All right, let me get back in here, get caught up on this. Nothing new. All right, let's get back into working those cars. Put my keyboard aside. Go back to work. Easiest way is I'm going to go transport to my train. There we go. All right. Whoops. Whoa. 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 Hold on. Get up there. What are you doing underground? You're not a mole. So, hope that didn't confuse everybody, but that was just a nice little nugget. My next string of cars are going to be for the El Cal, the 315. So, okay, so I'm going to pull those off. What? Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about the update, the little button at the top. I was trying to think, we mean with menu. Okay, yeah, when you first got into it, because if you're not that familiar with Run8, if you're brand spanking new, well, the first thing I want to say is you need to get the updater, and that is, if you have not done that, grab the file for the updater. It'll install a utility in the parent directory for Run8. And then that's the updater. What that will do is every time there's an update, you'll get a green button on the main launch screen. And okay, that means there's an update. Click that button. It'll cancel out a Run8, and it'll start the process to do the update. And that's usually how I know. I mean, honestly, I don't look at their website every day. I do look at the Depot Plus site every day. I have to. In fact, when I get done with this video, I'll be going over to Depot Plus for a little bit. I gotta go spend some time on a map over there so I don't lose my membership. They need to see activity at least every 3 months. If you don't have enough activity, they will purge you. And that's not I mean, I kind of do the same thing on the NorCal map as well too. It's all done part of the bot that if there's no activity, you'll get purged. But it's an easy. Hey, I just did. I hadn't been on Mateo's server in a while. I hadn't been on the High Green server in a while, so reach out to my buddy Kung Fu Beer. Hey man, I want to get on Mateo, and I got purged, so can you add me back? And it's just real quick. That's all it takes. Depot Plus is a little bit different. They're a little more strict. I played too casual, to be honest with you. Alright. F7 cheat. Brake cylinder goes to 6 every time I do that, so we got to bleed that off. Alright. Do brakes. That's why you see that car moving. Looks like we only got 3 cars that we got to pull, so let's pull this whole thing forward. But yeah, this is what it's like. This is a day in the life of my buddy Chris that was in here yesterday. In fact, he was actually working the Riverbank yard. Kind of doing exactly what I'm doing here. This is really what's called a radio-controlled operator. Is he actually uses a box around his neck, and he's got radio controls to these locomotives, and he can flip switches and the whole bit. So right now RCO is what the acronym is. That makes sense. Yeah, it is a commitment. I mean, it's in. Yeah, no, it is a commitment, but it's not a hard thing to do. I mean, if you want to spend some time on there, you can go to Norfolk Southern and you do the Pittsburgh map and take a road train. 2 hours out of your day, you drive that road train from one side of the map to the other. On the server, side note on that, do not drive the train off the map. Bring it to a stop and then get out and delete it. They're finding that does crash the servers. I mean, it's not a bad thing. They do have them set up so that if they do crash, they will automatically. I can pull up a little bit more actually. You know, let me do that. But yeah, they crash. It takes about maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, and they're back up again. They auto launch. That's really what I need to do. Is I need to work on the Pittsburgh server. My buddy Hank had that on there, and he brought his down. Not a lot of people visit it. And it's the same thing on the Depot Plus side too. I mean, they brought it up because everybody was excited by it, and then now hardly anybody's on the Norfolk Southern map. So, and it's all right. Ours, I'm not going to bring it down. I'm going to leave it up. If nobody uses it, that's fine. It's there for me to use. So, but I welcome anybody to come join me and play on there. Different type of map. I need to go fix a train that I brought in. I brought a big old long cut of cars into the South Fork secondary. And yeah, I brought them in wrong, so I actually need this kind of blocking the main line and the yard. That's been like a month it's been sitting there like that. Alright, let's go ahead and back up a bit. Go in reverse. Uncouple, let's go forward. Close the valve, because if not, I'm going to blow the PCS. And well, I could use the F7 cheat to fix that whenever you blow the PCS, or if you want to do it the right way, you got to air it back up again. Okay, back it up now. You don't have to. Okay, that's the thing, is you don't have to. There's a couple of different things that you can do. Why are we not backing up? Got no brakes. Okay, there we go. they're loaded, so they got some weight behind them. Once again, that's the physics coming in right there. I mean, I went into one notch in the train, and these two locomotives weren't going to move because there was weight on those cars. But yeah, you don't have to. Now, there's, like I said, there's a couple of different things you could do depending on where you're at. In fact, I meant to look at that to see, but because of this new map, I'm expecting a new configuration file coming out from the Depot Plus on the Depot Plus website. So you can always grab that and then just copy and paste that into the Run8 folder. That will overwrite all the industry files that you have on your map. So before you do that, obviously back up the currently existing files. That's one thing. So if so they might have added an industry, and if they did, when you overwrite and add their industry file, it'll add it. I think we're looking at on this particular map, I know like in the little industrial park that's here off of this yard that I'm working, there's enough in there for about four or five different industries. Keep going. Ooh, that was a nice soft touch. Might have even been a little. Let me see. Did it couple? It coupled. All right. Let's cheat. F7 cheat, and we're going to shove back. Lead off or bell off the independents. So and honestly, I kind of like that because I mean the developers, they do go through and they will leave some places available, like this whole thing right here. Like, you know, there's a spur right here, but we're going to leave it, do something with it. So that's the growth piece. That's, you know, you can, once again, it's your model railroad. You know, do with it what you want to do. If you want to leave it like that, you know, a nice little spur, what could it be used for? Well, if you get a bad rail car, you need some place to set that rail car out on. You can't keep dragging that because that could end up causing a catastrophic failure of your train. So you need to get it out of your train, set it off to the side, so the repair crews can come down and work on the car. Once it's repaired, then they can put it back in the train and send it on its way. I just turned it because it was right there, so I turned it into an industry. Now, another thing that you can do, speaking of, like, you know, getting the config file from the Depot Plus, another one is to look for on their forums. Look for the Brad. It's Brad LB. Is all one word, no spaces. Look for that particular user of the forum. He has come out with a lot of very populated files. Very populated Southern California. Very populated Pittsburgh. Very populated. Well, he's done everything except for NorCal. He's going to have to do NorCal now. Yes, because he didn't do NorCal, and when I chatted with him, he said because the Depot killed their NorCal server in place of the Pittsburgh server, so, and he'd never played on it, so he's like, therefore I'm not going to make do a very populated, but now he's going to have to when they finally do connect them. So, but that's something I do too. If you want lots and lots of work to do on your map, on your layout, grab that very populated file for your specific, what specific area that you're playing in. I did it on the deal for the DLC for. I'll go back and put that. I had the wrong page up for the map. This is the area you can tell on the map there. That's the area I'm working on. So I did it for. I mean, I did it for all of them because no matter where I go, I wanted lots of work to do, and there's always something to do. Do I want to run a road train? Do I want to do yard switching like I'm doing today? Do I want to work on industries, scenery, which is including building trains? Oh, actually, that reminds me. I forgot. Or I forget. Engage auto. There we go. I had auto was turned off, and I forgot to turn them back on again, and I saw that one train down there. I was sitting down here, so we should see that red light because he stopped at this light right there, and he's almost off of this particular map, going onto the Bakersfield map. So it'd be interesting. Auto is not smart. Auto is just like, okay, your locomotives are facing in this direction. There goes the light. So your locomotives are facing in this direction, even though it needs to go kind of north and then west. But since they're facing in this direction, I'm just going to send that train, and we'll see, you know, whatever he has to do, you know, and eventually just go off the map somewhere. So he doesn't know that this train is going in the wrong direction. He just knows that this is the way it needs to go, and he's going to do his best to try to get it to Pittsburgh. And not smart that way. Not smart enough to say, hey, you need to turn this thing around. So, anyway. Okay, what's next? Okay, so we're going to go into that track, right? So we're only getting 3 cars on this one. I like it when there's a long string of cars because, I mean, honestly, this is going to be a lot of work. This will probably be almost all of my stream today is working these cars, and I probably will not finish. But this is Run8. This is the realism of Run8 because I've got this entire string of cars that I need to kind of sort. Now, there is a faster way. What's up, beer? Yep, I'm in Modesto. I'm in Modesto. I don't know if you watched my last stream. Got to show everybody where my son's ranch was. Kind of in general where I work, where I live, that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is, you know, like you and you know, where you like to do all your streams from, because you live down by there, this is where I'm at. Now if we can just get Mateo to add the industries for up here, I'd be on the Mateo server. How you doing this morning, Beer? Oh, and you know what? I just want to say I'm very sorry about what my 49ers did to your Cowboys. No, I'm not. Missed it. They rolled back. There we go. You're in burrito. I ordered burritos yesterday. I ordered one for me and one for him. He never showed up for it, so I had to eat it myself. You had no illusions? Yeah. I did. It was good. It was a good watch. I mean, I had fun watching the game too. But the way we've been playing, we could have, which we've done in the past, is imploded. And this even goes back to like the era, and probably even before, but I noticed it a lot when, you know, we had Joe Montana and Bill Walsh. I am not a fan of the prevent defense. It doesn't prevent crap. What am I doing? Oh, I did the Mets, so okay, we're good. Yep, we're lined in. So are we doing yard work today? Working on your sprinklers again? Thanks for resetting my my Mateo stuff. I gotta get on a high green too. Now it's interesting on the Mateo server they've added Modesto, but they didn't import the industries, and I don't understand why they didn't, but they didn't. So I haven't been there. I'll go check again to see if the industries have been imported. Boom. Gotta love that F7 sheet. Gotta love it. Really? All of a sudden my encoder's having issues? I may have to go back the way I had. I changed some of the settings. I went to the hardware encoding and it's not, I just noticed it's a little choppy today all of a sudden. Wow, I hate when it does that. And I actually ran the, always like, before I do a stream, I run the wizard to check the throughput, and then it came up with excellent. I've actually really improved the settings, and now all of a sudden, yeah, FPS is dropping off. Everything's dropping off. All right. I'm going to have to see what I can do about fixing that. Give you guys better quality. Hang on a second here. Yes, it does. Yeah, great. That was a good one. Yeah, thanks for bringing that tip. You can shift click if you want, but I've been like using the F7 cheat, so it just does all the cars. Locomotive does the entire train. All right, let's see. Oh no, I'm not saying. Yeah, you're not wrong. No, it depends. Like once again, it depends on how you want to play. If you want, like because was it Quincy kind of like he was calling me a cheater when he first showed up, and I know that was all in jest, but I mean typically, yeah, you're gonna walk your entire train, and you're gonna look at each coupler, each angle cock, the hoses, brakes. Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, that's what you do, and on a long string of cars, that's gonna take a long time. So, yeah. Wow, thanks autocorrect. Yeah, autocorrect it's the auto. You should just write OTTO correct, autocorrect. I think it comes from the same. He's in the same family. They all drink heavily. Oh yeah, no. I mean, well, you're down there in Florida, Quincy. So yeah, but you're right. It's not fun, but it is fun because if it wasn't fun, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do it. Be honest. Playing with trains, big boy trains. But then again, you got up in like the Northeast, or like Roseville, or I mean even Sparks. It might be Nevada, it might be high desert, but they get snow and they'll get in the minus. So middle of the night when you're down in the minus, there's snow on the ground, you're trudging through, and you're having to check a train, a mile long cut of cars. Yeah, it's not too terribly fun. Yeah, it's still doing it again. I almost have to. I don't want to stop. I got 1 hour in. I want to try to get another hour. I noticed too that it started doing it as soon as Kung Fu Beer showed up. Coincidence? I think not. Oh, making changes. Let's see if that fixes it. Nope, still got some overload. So it'll be choppy, guys. I apologize. But I will go back to previous settings after this stream is done. I'm not going to stop this stream. If it gets really bad, I will. And I think it's all on the YouTube side. I'm overloading YouTube. I wonder if it helps if I got rid of the map as well too. Alright, give me a long string of cars. SWA, see, all this is going to be going. I got a lot of cars going to SWA. I got to learn the industries. That's the other thing too, is learning the names of the industries. SWA, Southwest Airlines. No. It's all fun until you step on a gator. Quincy, that gator wouldn't dare mess with you. Neutral, independent brake. Let's get back on the ground. And see, now here's the other thing. I use F7 too, great, because I mean, if you're doing keyboard, yes, shift click, perfect. But I do, I mean, except for if I'm setting up an industry like I did before, I'm on my rail driver all the time. So that's why F7 cheat. I have a button mapped to that. I can probably map the button to a shift, the shift key if I wanted to. But it's all rail driver stuff. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pull forward. That was weird. Sounded like I was going over a switch. Okay, anyway. Alright, off that, bleed off the, or bail off the brakes, and then we're going to go ahead, not bleed, bail, use the right terminology. Alright, next 3 cars, come on. What, 3 cars? 3 from one, 3 for another, 3 for one. Come on, that's painful. This is painful. Now I could have used, if I wanted to, and I use the external consist editor for setting up streams, but for this case I wanted to do flat switching this entire this entire string of incoming cars. But you can use the external consist editor to pre-sort all your cars by industry, by local, by industry, and then it would be just a couple of quick moves, and then I could be on. And I've done that for certain streams. All right, let's see. No, you're fine. Gray, you're fine. You did not. I took it exactly what it was. It was excellent information. There's so much that is a part of Run8 that, that's a quality of life piece that you were sharing, and I appreciate you doing that. So you're good. Yeah, you're all good. Now I'm just explaining that in this, everything I'm doing is mouse and rail driver. Keyboard is way off to my left, out of the way. And then the whole thing about the rail driver is honestly, I went a year and a half of playing Run8 strictly by keyboard. Yeah, set. Okay. Oops. And never said, why would I want a rail driver? Honestly, that was my mindset. Why would I want a rail driver? I can do it all by keyboard. And once I got the rail driver, Kung Fu Beer convinced me, plus some others convinced me, go get the rail driver. You'll never look back. They were not wrong. Back this one up, come off the independent, give me a notch. Ooh, might have a long, about 5, 6, 7 cars for the Met. Nice. See, I get excited by that one. There's if it's just like 2 or 3, it makes flat switching a little bit painful. But when I get a nice long string of cars, then it's like, oh good, now I get to really get through my work a little bit faster. Speaking of, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. And let me just take a look. Oh, that's backing up slowly. I'm going to the depot server site real quick. Downloads. Config files. August 21st. Okay, and so this just came out. I'll go back and take a look. I wonder if that actually has, if the depot plus v3 config files they have actually include this area. Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at that and see what they do. All right, let's get back this going. Sorry, I was tabbed out looking at that website. So there is a new set of config files from Depot Plus. So that would be all the different industries. So I might have to go redo my son's industry unless if they put something in there. And we're having issues with the server, or with the stream again. Sorry guys. It will be fixed. Which buttons do you find yourself using on the rail driver that aren't the dedicated train controls? Horn, bell. I use pretty much everything. Because you look at the rail driver, you've got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, total of 40 different buttons. About 34 different buttons at the bottom of the, and I'm counting everything down there, including the rocker button and then the four-way. So the four-way obviously moving, so we can take that out of the picture. The rocker is, I use, the up button if I go into fly mode, and then I have the pre-programmed that came with the rail driver for Run8, because the nice thing with the rail driver, unlike some of the other train simulators out there, is you pretty much have to download a utility, whereas in Run8 the utility is already a part of Run8, so all you got to do is plug your rail driver into a USB port and start Run8, and it's already configured. The pantograph key, obviously pantograph, that's for those people that like electric trains. That's the device on the top of the train that will raise up and make connection with the wires. Well, we don't have that on these locomotives, so I remapped that to the F7 sheet. And then the other one that I remapped, step lights, I remapped to bring up the switch list. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is I use it as it was configured. And the remapping is all done through here. Button mapping. You can calibrate your rail driver, reset your rail driver, turn your rail driver on or off. The LED readout, I have it set to speed limit. I can turn it off. Coupler force, which might be kind of a nice thing, especially if you're climbing up a steep grade and you want to watch your couplers, which is something you want to do when you're going over the mountains, like from Roseville to Sparks in real life, riding the Amtrak train and going over there and looking out the window. I can't tell you the number of broken couplers that were laying alongside the rails. So keeping an eye on that, on your, the stretch force on the couplers is kind of a crucial piece, but that's right there on the, on the rail driver. I have it set for speed limit, but right now I'm ignoring it because I'm running pretty slow out here. But speed limit inside the yard is 15. That's set by the DLC. Depot Plus, depending on which map you're on over there, they may, in their rules, they may have set the speed limit to 10. So you got to keep an eye on your speed limit. And trust me, there will be individuals that will yell at you if you violate that speed limit. And it could actually get you kicked off the Depot Plus service if you violate. They're very strict. They're very strict. So, and it's for good reason. I mean, it's when you have to be that strict, it's usually because somebody's gotten on there and created shenanigans. All right. Now and the horn piece, what am I doing on this ladder? No, I was facing the wrong way. Yeah, the horn you got right next to the reverser. It is a plastic lever. You can get replacements for those from the rail driver people. That pretty much told me don't get into it hard. Just, it doesn't take much. Doesn't really take much pressure to make the horn, to blow the horn. But yeah, no, I keep everything the same. Top buttons. I'll have to set my camera up again, and I've got it still in OBS to where if I put a camera up there looking down at the rail driver, you can actually see my hands using the rail driver, and I should set that up again so I can share that. Might be a nice little touch. The one thing is I've got some extra labels here that a subscriber sent me, and I appreciate that very much. I need to take those, I need to copy them into a PDF file and then print them out on regular paper, put a plastic cover. You can get, like from Avery will make like a plastic sheet that's got an adhesive on it. Lay the plastic sheet out and print them out on sticker paper, cut them out, and then place them, because the stickers that come with the rail driver, they're just simple paper, and I've already worn out the button that's used for the alerter. That one, I just know it's for the alerter, but you can't tell because it's all worn out and it's white. When I move the throttle, I tend to rest my finger on the rail driver, and where I rest it, that sticker's worn out. So that's the piece that I would recommend, is that before you put your stickers on the rail driver, when you get it, if you've got a scanner or something, copy it into your computer as a PDF file, print it out onto Avery sticker paper, cover it, laminate it where you gotta do on one side, so you got hard plastic covering, and you can get very light lamination as well too. And not the heat lamination, because it'll cause the stickers to peel off. It's the press lamination. Put that down, and then just trim. Use a pair of scissors and cut out your stickers as you need, just very carefully, and apply those. So now you got that plastic sheet, and you won't wear out your stickers. Makes it good for easy cleanup. All right, F7 or pantograph key. Pulling met. Okay, so we're gonna pull a lot of met. That'll be good. Let's bail off the Independence, because I had 6 pounds on there. Let's go forward. And if you're wondering too, yes, I have given myself mainline authority, and I have the switch down here, because this is mainline right here. I have the switch set against the mainline, and I got nothing coming at me, so I'm all good. Hence why it's all blue. Actually, this one doesn't need to be blue, but that's why this is blue here, because I've actually got mainline authority. Oh, I did it again. There we go. Ooh, nice long cut of cars. Oh, I love it. Keep coming. Just keep coming. We're going to have a lot of work in the Met to do. That'll be a future stream. Ooh, look at all this. There we go. Oh, no, that's still Met 2. That's just loaded. Okay. There we go. There's an LCal coming up. All right, let's go ahead and come out of the throttle. That's met. Okay, ROT. Oh, we're going to go deliver these. So, all right. There's these two, and I think there's another one back here. So we're going to sort these two out once we get to it. And we'll probably put them on a track over here because those actually go to the one and only industry in that industrial park that's connected to this yard. So we're actually do get to go deliver some cars today, and then we'll come back and continue working this cut, this string. All right, come off the auto. Let's pull up a little bit more. Tie up traffic at the intersection down there. See how many people we can get fired because they can't make it to work on time because we're blocking the intersection. I say that because where I used to work here, that was the excuse that everybody used to use. Why are you late for work? Well, I got caught by a train. That's funny. We didn't see a train go by. So. All right, just about 10-pound reduction on the auto brake. We'll bring that to a stop. Okay, we're going to go past that. That's good. And we are lined into where we need to go. Perfect. Ah! Wow, that would be something that would happen out here. And I'm sure it's probably happened out here. Now I know we had, right across, I mean, where I used to work, it was right across the street was the BNSF tracks, and there was an intersection there, and a Frito-Lay potato chip truck got stuck at the crossing and got slammed into by an Amtrak train. Potato chips everywhere. So Frito-Lay showed up to pull their truck and pick up the stuff. No, they didn't pick it up. What they did is they went and knocked on our door. Anybody want free chips? Come get it. And we were out there. You should have seen. Everybody was out there picking up. I had bags and bags of chips for days. All different varieties. Regular Lays, barbecue Lays. All different varieties of their chips. Good day that day. My car was packed. I mean, I had them in the trunk, I had them in the back seat, I had them in the front seat, in my lap. Oh, yeah. But to this day, yeah, I like Lays, but I look at them and go, yeah, I think I'll pass. A little bit of auto brake, not much. Let's slow this thing down. It's gonna bring it to a stop because it takes a while for that. When I go into it and come out of it, it takes a while for that to propagate through the brake pipe. So that's legit. Come on, give me a little bit of a boost. Just going into one notch here. I want two. There we go. Come out of it. Let's get on the ground. All right, and we're going to go F7, hit the button to take off the handbrakes, and we're going to start pushing these back. All kinds of room. Oh, not bad. We're right here. That's the end of the string we're working. So we almost have it done. Very nice. Yeah, you know, you're not the first one. I think Chris, that actually he works out of this yard and the one in Stockton. He kind of bounces back and forth. He's had that one too, where they, hey, they block. If it's a long block, maybe, but they block and because they're moving cars around, and then all of a sudden, they call the police. Sorry guys, we're working. We're gonna block the intersection. And that's just people with that mindset of it's all about me. You're inconveniencing me. Well, you know what? You may want to figure out a different route because it's not all about you. I actually said that to a mom one time at one of our events because it's like, this is really bad for me. And I looked at her and I said, this isn't about you. Who's it about? I said, it's about the students. It's always about the students. And she complained, and the principal went, he wasn't wrong. Have a nice day. Another reason why model railroading is fun, you don't have to deal with people like that. Honestly, I didn't think he was going to do it, but right before he called, he yelled up and said, I'm going to call the blank on you, you know the rest, and you know the rest. Yeah. Go ahead. The funny thing is we did have an associate principal that, well, BNSF was leaving the train. Okay, the railroad right behind his backyard, and where there was it's a spur, and BNSF was leaving the locomotive there, and they were leaving the locomotive running. Well, what's going to happen if you leave the locomotive running? You can actually hear it in the simulator. The evacuation of the air cylinder as it's trying to evacuate water out of it so it doesn't rust. They heard that all night long, so they called the local police. The local police showed up. What's the problem? He goes, oh, I'm sorry, that's not our jurisdiction. That is private property. It's owned by Burlington Northern Santa Fe. And so they called. Yes, they do. Yeah, so Derek, they do. The Depot Plus V3 config files do all the industries on their maps. So, and even if it's every single map, okay, so, or every single DLC, it's one combined file. But here's the beauty of it, is that if you don't have that DLC, it's just not going to add it. Those, all the industries for that particular DLC, they're not going to get added. So it doesn't hurt anything. All you got to do is just, basically copy and paste. Back up your original, copy and paste, and you're good. And usually you're good to go. All right, that's right. Let's back up a little bit so we can uncouple, get the stretch force off of there. They do have a link there on that same page where you can download their config file, and they have a link to a PDF of how to install the config file, and then they also have a link that goes to a YouTube video on how to install it. And if you've never done it before, I highly advise that you read that PDF file or watch the video and then have the PDF file handy as you go through the process. Minimize errors. And yes, I'm speaking from experience. Everything that I offer and teach you guys, it's all from experience. I make mistakes so you don't have to. Alright, a little pendant on there. Oh, too much. Only about 10 pounds is all you really need. So a 10-pound application on the brake cylinders for the locomotives is enough to stop it. I went 14. All right, we're going to come on back. I need just these two cars here, which I will set for just to start. I'm going to set them out on this track. These, I think I've got some more. These go to an industry that's almost down by Fresno. But as things get rolling, that will end up being a unit train for that industry. Starting to rain in the map here, which honestly is not far from the truth. It's not going to rain, but it looks like it wants to. Slow down. I want to slam into the explodey boys. Alright, actually I don't know why I did that, but I did. I hit F7. I actually would have just pulled them. Let's go ahead, set handbrake on these. Release these. There we go. There's another one down there. I don't think I have. I'll look and see if I've got any more than just those three. Uh-oh, my coffee went cold. Nobody move. Stop. Oh, and I was chatting in my Discord. I'll be honest with you guys, I dropped another $30 on Run8. I now have every single car pack, every single DLC. I'm at 100% right now until the next DLC drops. I did buy the view liners. I've got to do I have to do Amtrak, and I'm going to do it exactly how they do it out here, because they'll run from, well, typically the run is, the San Joaquins go from, Emeryville, follow the BNSF lines on the Mariposa sub to Stockton, then they'll turn right and start heading south down the Stockton sub. It's here. I mean, it's coming. I don't know if it's going to be the next. I actually think that, and I really think the next one's going to be Stockton. And the only reason I say that is if you look at the manual. If you look at the statements that were made when I previewed this DLC, I was showing the statements. Everything's pointing that Stockton is next, simply because they were trying to do Fresno to Stockton, and there was so much up in Stockton. And as you know, the statement from John, the owner of Run8, was Stockton is the LA of the Central Valley. So when you watch Kung Fu Beer's streams, he's down in that area, and there's so much industry and stuff down there to work. That's what Stockton is. So I think that Stockton's pretty much ready to go. When I imported the config files for, and that's a difference in copy and paste. When I imported the config files into my maps, I had 557 industries dropped in. So, what's up, DR? How you doing? Welcome to my madness. Elscar, what's up? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. So I think honestly, I believe Stockton's is going to be next because I think that that's all. I think that's what they've been working on, and it's about ready to go. He did commit and say that yes, they do plan on fixing that gap between Seiko and Global. Yes, I want that as well. It's about a 60-mile gap, so probably a DLC unto itself. You know. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop these here. All right, let's go take these. Forward. Yes, stand in front of a moving train. Always a smart thing to do. I say that to those people when we need to call the herd. And Quincy knows what I'm talking about. Oh, exceeding the speed limit. 15 miles an hour. Depot plus speed limit, usually about 10 miles an hour in the yard. But this is local. This is my virtual model railroad. I'll drive as fast as I want. Right on the ground. 10 pounds of application on the independent. 15 miles an hour, 10 pounds. Usually, if I was doing 5, it would stop almost immediately. But with the weight of the locomotives, this is an example of the physics right here. I mean, 10 pounds would be enough to stop it. It is stopping. But look at the distance that I had to cover. You step in front of me, you won't do it again. Remember, I don't have Insta brakes. No, come on. What do you mean? You mean a train can't stop on the dime? Come on. My car can. I'm just saying. Okay, let's take a look and see. I'm going to look at the tagger here. And so ROT, there's one right there. Do I have any more? No, the last set of cars are the Met 0204. That's all going to Gallo Wine. So we got some El Calmore here. 0204, some more from Gallo Wine. So I have to set out those on another track because I want to put those on the end of what I'm going to take to the Met. Typically, I mean, I think in real life it would be just like, oh, it belongs to the Met. I'm not going to care about what local it is for the Met. I'm just going to put all the Met cars here and take them down to the yard and let the Met deal with it. And that would be the real life. But since I'm going to be the one that is going to have to deal with it, yeah, that means that I'm going to have to want to sort them. So, everything else, I got this one left for 315, 315. I think I got some more. Yeah, I got some 315s down here. So we're almost done with this string of cars. Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull everything right here to the rot. And then I'll put the rot with the other ones. 315, the 01, the 315. We'll get those all sorted in, and then we'll go grab the rot and deliver those. So that's my plan for this. And then we'll come back and sort the rest of the cars. And then when I'm done sorting, flat switching. Probably very close to the end of the stream because we're at 1 hour and 36 minutes. Once again, apologize for the quality of the stream. I thought I had it, and usually, I don't know, something changed because I mean the old video card would actually handle the hardware processing of the stream. This one, it's a faster video card, but it's not doing it very well. So I blame the drivers on that one. It may be enough to push me to get away from AMD and go back to NVIDIA. We'll see. Especially with Flight Sim 2024 comes out. Well, the first next simulator is like I said, I did do the pre-purchase on Farm Sim. So Farm Sim 25 comes out on the 12th of this month. I will be waiting for it, drop it, and then I'll start doing some more Farm Sim stuff. Buying another copy is in the future as well too. F7 cheat. We'll get this whole train aired up. Bail off the brake cylinders. It always adds, for some reason, always adds 6 pounds. It does. So I bought my copy from Steam. I'm going to buy a copy direct from Giants because not only my intention is on the other machine, I've got Mohawk and Selkirk server running. I've got Pittsburgh Line East and the South Fork secondary running. And so my next thing is to set up my own server. I've been paying a subscription to Fragnet, good service if you want to host. So but if I can save money and set up my own server and run it from, here locally, you know what? Then I'm going to do that. So, all right, let's go ahead, come off, get the handbrakes released. We're going to go forward. And we're going to pull all these right up to the right. We'll bring the rest up, and then the rest is going to be real quick. The rest of this should be sorted fairly quickly. There's some neat things that they're adding. I've been watching a lot of Farm Sim guys videos. The ground compaction thing is real. That is, my ex-father-in-law is a farmer. He actually is a farm manager, to be honest, and his specialty that he focuses on is pistachios. So if you're buying bags of wonderful pistachios, that comes out of this area, and also Arizona, of all places, because he spends a lot of time down there in Arizona. I forgot where I was going to go with that. The train in my mind just left the tracks. Boy, I don't know where I was going with that one. Okay, never mind. Oh, Farm Sim 25. Yeah, compaction. That's where it was. Thank you. You reminded me. Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I would definitely. Yeah, no, the AI. Oh, there is. Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to stop here for just a minute. We'll talk a little bit about Farm Sim, even though I'm doing Run 8. So the AI or the GPS has always been a mod that somebody's created, and honestly, that mod, the best version of that particular mod was for Farm Sim 2017, and I've never seen it recreated like it was for 2017. Well, it's now incorporated into Farm Sim 25. Okay, and even including like a headland mode. So you can have your, you can set a worker to go do headlands, and then do the fields and everything. So, and I'm sure there will be a mod that'll come out because somebody will be like, hey, I can do this better, and they probably will, and that's some of the beauty of Farm Sim. The ground compaction piece. There is a recent video from the Millennial Farmer. And he actually, just real briefly in the middle of his video, they were going into a field of corn, and he actually pointed his camera, he goes, Well, corn tried to grow here, but in his statement was the ground compaction is so tight here because we're constantly going on and off the field that the corn doesn't really grow really well right here. Ground compaction is the thing, and I never grew up around a farm, so I asked my father-in-law what's with the tractors? Why does it have you know two wheels on the front, on the front on each side, or maybe three or whatever? And he said it's to fight compaction. That the more wheels you have on a tractor, the more it distributes the weight, and it doesn't push the soil down, and so seeds can grow better. They've added compaction into Farm Sim 25. So compaction's the thing. Dynamic pastures are added. So now if you find a pasture, instead of going out and you can certainly still mow it and turn it into hay and give it to your animals. Or with the dynamic pastures, you set up a fence, you buy it, you set a fence up around the pasture, and now you can move your animals from your farm to that pasture, and they'll graze in that pasture. So you don't. So basically, which is the thing in real life. So now, as they're grazing, you don't have to go buy hay or go make hay. You still can, but you don't have to. Yeah, and Derek, that's what it is. I had that same. That was the question: is why do they have so many wheels? Distribute the weight to minimize ground compaction. That's why they do it. Also, traction as well too. I mean, if they're pulling something very heavy. Yeah, I've been here chatting with my company who's here for the week. Just FYI, you know what? That's all right, man. You got company. I mean, but you know what? What does that say? You like me better than your company. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I almost got a tear in my eye. Okay, I'm over that now. Are you gonna pull? What's going on here? Oh, you know what? I did it again. I got monologuing and forgot to open. Let's push backwards. Take that. All right, now we can go forward. Oh, I forgot to come off. There we go. There we go. That's the first time I've done that on my stream today. Oh, I blew the PCS. That's why we have an F7 cheat. Boy, right here at the very end, I made a mistake. Come on, get off of that. Go forward. There we go. Now we're fixed. Let's get to work. Let's at least get some cars delivered. That'd be kind of exciting to do today. But this is an example, especially like if any kind of yard like this, DeWitt on the Mohawk map. Well, a lot of what Beer does down there in San Bernardino. A lot of flat switching. Look, I'm keeping people from going to work. All right, let's go in reverse. Bail off. We got some error on that. Okay, we're going to go back. Let's see. Yep, going straight. All right, we're good. We're going to come back and we're going to put that last tanker with these two. We'll sort what else we have, and then we'll go deliver these 3 tankers. So, what else? There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Farm Sim looks like it's going to be really, really good. So, yeah. So, initially, you know, I'll be running my Steam version, and then December will probably be the other direct digital copy, so I can set the server up. Oh, okay. Let's go back to so Flight Sim 2024. You know what? I actually do airline. I bought the Phoenix A320, and I want to get the iFly 737, but I'm also waiting to see what PMDG is going to do because I know they're coming out with a 737 Max. But a lot of people are blaming. They're saying that iFly was so good that it caused PMDG to cancel their Max. They didn't cancel it. What they did was they got a contract to develop some planes for the federal government's or their simulators, that whatever they use, and so they put it on hold to meet the need of that government contract. So PMDG's got a Max coming. iFly, obviously, the iFly one looks really good though too. So it's, and I think the pre-release came out a couple weeks ago. So, and I like the 737. It's just I find it hard to drop $70. I mean, I dropped, was it the A320 was only 50. Okay, I'm getting, and that's getting more like, yeah, I can kind of do that. And honestly, that was the reason why. Make sure I close that and open that. Okay, that was actually the reason why I waited a little bit, was because I blew my budget when I bought the A320, and that was money that could have actually gone to buying the DLC for Run8 when it launched. So, but I like it, and then if you ever watched any of John Beckett's stuff, I watch a lot of his stuff. I bought him a cup of coffee, and I got his checklist. So it was worth it. I mean, you know, was it like $5 for a cup of coffee so you can go to Starbucks? Hey, go do it, dude. That's why, and that actually is why also too, it's like, you know, if you want me to go hand in hand and do stuff, you know what, that's why I subscribe to coffee now. You can always buy it. I mean, I gotta make another cup here. Buy me a cup of coffee. So that's my donation page, because I've had people ask me, how come I can't donate to you? And now you can. You can donate to through coffee. The link is in my description. You can buy me a cup of coffee. All right, let's go sort the rest of this. What's next? That's what I was going to do. We'll get rid of these. So that's 315, 315. I got one for the Met. And then 315. Okay, so, and this will be quick. And then we'll go deliver those. Normally if I have PMDG 737, it's not bad at all. It just doesn't have all the extra immersion Phoenix does or iFly does. It will. I mean, what's coming for our PMDG on their 737, the 737 Max, it will have all the immersion that you're looking for. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. My daughter's asking me. Hang on. There you go. I just said I'm streaming. Which, surprising me that she's asking me that, because she's my mod and she knows when I stream. I might have to fire her as a mod. I'm taking applications. Alright, so this is, yep, so we're going to back this into... Every time I see a tanker, I want to call them explodey boys. That's what Heist used to call tankers in Derail Valley. I have Derail Valley too, and That was one that I was playing for a little bit and just literally stopped playing it when I found Run8. So I have Derail Valley, I have Railroader. I went to Railroader for a while, and because it was new, but then I came back when I started playing Run8 again. I'm like, nope, I gotta keep playing Run8. And I think a lot of it has to do with the money aspect. Is that Run8 is without the money aspect is more pure railroading. That's why I call it, you know, my virtual model railroad. Oh man, that's terrible. I'm looking at my stream just right now, and that's terrible. Boy, that's really bad. Let me get on the ground. Let me see if it's. I will fix that. I apologize. This is not my best one right here, and it should have been fine. But I think what I needed to do was, when I was doing the testing, I didn't move. I might do that and see what happens. Alright, let's see. The next one, those two can stay. And then, so we're going to go ahead. Oh, I need to push it back. I'm looking at the distance here, so I need to push it back. So push back to about there. Making those little engines work. Oh, I had to hit the F7 key. I forgot there was no air in the rest of that, in the rest of the string here, so I'll leave the 3 pounds on the cylinder here. Come off the throttle. I'm going to push back a little bit more too, because I want to have room for the boxcar when I push it in. Alright, we're there. We're good enough for now. Close enough for government work. Or CSX work. Burrito work. Ping! And my daughter's response is... Oh, she wants to go demon hunting. Okay, well that'll be... let's see. Hang on, let me answer. Oh. Oh, and work messaged me too. I missed that one. Oh, he just messaged also too. I didn't know it was today. Okay. Okay then. Hang on. Okay, yeah. Let's see. And let's see. I am. Sorry, guys. Okay, going back to my daughter. Oh, told her, give me an hour. Then we're gonna go demon hunt. Okay. Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow too, and they just adjusted. That's what it was. There's stuff that's going on. We're kind of short-handed, so I am the jack of all trades, a master of none, and yeah. But I guess I guess I do well because they're like, yeah, we need you to do this, this, and this tomorrow, which is really outside of what I do. And that's the downside of working in a union. I mean, there's always going to be somebody that, I mean, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody that's going to be pissed off that I'm going to be doing what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And it's like, you know what? I don't care. It's once again, it's that whole thing I was talking about before. You're thinking of you. Me, I'm thinking about the students. Okay? And what I'm going to be doing tomorrow is going to help the students. So stop thinking about you. Start thinking about the students, because that's why we're here. So anyway, okay, I'm off my soapbox. Alright, so this one is a Met. We're going to go drop this one in here. Reverse back in. Then we'll have one more for the 315. We'll sit that in there. We should have enough room. I might have to push back a little bit just so I don't foul the switch. You worked yesterday too, didn't you, Quincy? I did too. So it's like, yeah, and that's the other side of things. I mean, until further notice, and I'm not complaining, mind you, but until further notice, I'm working 6 to 8 weeks. I'm getting paid for it, so I'm not going to complain. And even this coming Saturday, what I would normally do on a Saturday, we're not doing because of an event that we have going on that's going to be all day. So yeah, it's and I'll be working that all day. So Saturday I guarantee you this coming Saturday there will be no stream. I will probably, by the time I get back, if I play, it's just for me to like not de-stress, but just wind down and relax. You're working right now? Yeah, well, I'm working right now too. Look, I'm working on the railroad. All the live long day, I'm working on the railroad. I got two for the Met. Okay. 3 for the Met. We're pushing it back. Okay. Move this back. So I'm going to have more for the Met, so I'm going to shove back a little bit. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit the brakes on this one and on that one. Come off the throttle. Close that. Open that. Go forward. Bail off the handbrake or the independent brake, and we got the last car, and then we're gonna go deliver some cars. Ohio. I haven't been to Ohio in a long time. Reynoldsburg, Columbus, all those areas around there. That was fun. Nice people. I think a lot of it has to do because that's like the buckle of the Bible Belt. But no, like I really loved Ohio. Ohio was fun. Spent a lot of time. Cedar Point, Canton. Alright, slow this down a little bit. 3 pounds on the independent. Under 3 miles an hour, we're just going to let it coast right in. Alright, let's shove back just a little bit. Oh, I didn't even see that one. I missed that. That's a PEM. I need to pull that out and put that with these cars here, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Goes that. A little pressure off of the coupler. Unlock it. Pull forward. Let's go grab those tankers and go deliver those. Which, according to the manual for this DLC, this is something that is normal, that as they switch them out, they'll go deliver them, which is kind of cool, kind of interesting. Usually most of all the other yards, you set it out and then some local will go deliver, but these are all industries that are connected. There's 3 industries connected to the Riverbank yard. Okay, get them off the ground. Reverse. Spawning lap bar 1 at BNSF. Main 2. Keep coming back. Alright, so my locomotives are not tagged LCal 0315. They don't need to be. Slow this down. There we go. Creep on in. Oops, too much. So I was going to say they don't need to be. It's because where I'm going to deliver, it's all about the industry tag, the ROT there. Alright, we're good. We've aired that up. Let's look at the map. So, alright, so this is going to be going... I've got locomotives sitting here, so I basically, and I'm right in here, so I basically need to come out this way and pull in, and then I'm going to be back, then I'll be driving in, and I think the industries, I can pretty much just drop them here. I think if I mark like this is this, and or here, so I can just drop them here, do a run around, come back, and then finish my work. So real simple, real quick. I'm gonna pull out and then push back. We'll go do it. Let me get on the ground. I will get on the end over here. All right. Pull forward. Bail off the independent. Release the handbrakes. We're rolling. We are rolling. Nice. And look, I'm not dropping. You know what? I haven't dropped any frames. It's just the encoder's having issues. The encoder needs to get over itself. You know what? Hey, Quincy, I just thought of something too. You know what I have not seen? Now you guys aren't going to see it because the encoder's having issues, and I am going to fix that. But the stuttering in Run8. Maybe it's just because I've been running real slow here in the yard, but I have yet to see that. All right, we're going to go ahead, drop about 10 pounds on the train, the automatic brake. Jump off. Yeah, so whatever it was that was causing that, it's which I honestly think it was tied into the anti-aliasing. I really do. And I believe, oh no, I'm doing FXAA. So I think I even went through and tried to turn it off, and it was something that was in the anti-aliasing that was causing that issue, because I've seen that issue arise in some other programs if I use the wrong anti-aliasing settings. So whatever it was, they've resolved it. I don't see it, but I'll wait until I do a road train. No, even just going on the road, because I will be going down, and next stream will probably be well, I'm not going to do it this stream because I'm over 2 hours already. I'm just going to deliver these cars and then come back. I will finish the remaining string of cars off camera, and then the next stream will be delivering cars to the Met, and then coming back and then actually working the local on the BNSF, and then we'll do the Met. It's not bad. I mean, there's small quirks. I mean, even if it did get the stutter, you just look away and then come back and it goes away. I mean, is it absolutely perfect? No, but tell me one program that is absolutely perfect. Especially if it's anything made by Microsoft. Like Windows. Let me jump on the ground here. I gotta go down and flip a switch. Okay, I got one notch in me. At one point in time, Run8 really did have... Oh, Splody Boys? Did they really? Like version 1, version 2? I mean, that's what that was a big thing with Derail Valley. You can make the tankers explode. I like Derail Valley, but like I said, once I discovered Run8, it was just, yeah, I stopped. I mean, and that's the thing. Oh, you know what? I could have kept going. I think I went down the wrong one. I did. I should have been on this one over here. That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. Oh, that's my daughter sent me a message in Discord. $9.8. All right. Slight uphill grade. There's my power for the LCal. But yeah, I should have been there because I could have just gone right back in. Now that I see that, which on the map would have been going right in here and then pulling up. So, because this stretch right here on the map is this stretch right in here, and then pull that way. So, we'll be fine. So, let me get on the ground again and run down to this switch. I had a little bit of a panic. I thought the reason I didn't get on that one is because I thought I was going to go in. I forgot that, yeah, that spur's facing the other way. Why? Because I didn't look at the map. So there's your lesson. Look at the map. That is not a map. You have the map in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. So that's the map. All right, let's come off the throttle on this one. Slight reduction. There, give you guys a horn. Let's see. V1, when trains would go, they would literally go poof and nothing would be left but the trucks. And believe me, you know when it was about to happen because your screen would be flooded with red text. Ah! You know, and that's the thing, man. It's like I really see that, and that's why I want to. My whole goal is to get this out, to get more people to build the Run8 community, make more people aware of it, and it is because I think honestly, if I was able to find this back in the V1 or V2 era, yeah, I mean, I would have been all over it. I'm all over V3. And when they come out with V4, if they come out with a V4, which they probably will, I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, I would have been all over it just simply because of how great this simulator is. Don't worry, we don't do hand holding. They really don't do hand holding now, but they've gotten better with some of their information. But then they still lack in some areas as well too. All right, now we're going to push back. I have slow speed on just because it's, you know, working 10 miles an hour. Once again, it's 15 miles an hour on the map, but Depot Plus, I'm using, kind of following the Depot Plus rules that it's 15 miles an hour. B1 was just brutal. Well, it's all brand new. You did everything yourself. Lay the tracks. Now, that's something like, okay, talking about a little crossover between Run8 and Farm Sim. One of the benefits of Farm Sim I like is the fact that the community can do a whole bunch of mods. You know, now the community here can do mods, but they're actually called enhancements, not mods. And it's not adding to Run8, it's replacing stuff in Run8. You had to do your own dispatch? Wow. Okay, hence I can see then why the dispatch screen, you know, third-party dispatch screen is still part of a thing. The dispatch screen we have now is really good. There is a third-party dispatch screen that has been worked on. It's being developed. It's still a work in progress. It's a lot of fun to play with. Playing solo like this, do we need it? No. I see it as a benefit is if you're on a multiplayer server and you're going to be the dispatcher. It's better than what Run8 has in that regards, in that kind of a service. But other than, you know, for solo play, you don't need it. What Run8 has is perfectly acceptable. And it works very, very well. Alright, let's go ahead and put about 10 pounds on the independent, get that train to stop. I want to use the independent, I don't want to use air. It might take a while for it to come back up. And these locomotives don't have dynamic brakes, or I would have used those. Pull forward. Alright, so I gotta remove the slow speed. Alright, virgin territory for me. I have not been down here other than to do a flyover to look at things and where the industries are at, what industries are out here, and there's a lot of room for growth out here. There we go. Right at 10. How's that? Okay, where's my coffee? Quincy, why have you not made me another cup of coffee yet? that in. All right, water's heating up. There we go. So, you know, honestly, I don't know with these houses being right here. It's not on the map, but I don't know if that would be a horn area or if this would be a bell only area. I can do your job for a month. Then they would give me your job and you'd have to go back to work for Union Pacific if they would hire you back, so you'd end up at BNSF wearing orange clothes. You know. I wonder how many people are actually trying to sleep in on this Sunday. Oh well. Yeah, what's up, Chris? Now you know why I'm awake. Yep, that was me. Hey, you know what? We all got an extra hour of sleep. How about that? It felt good. Body said you're waking up at your normal time. Clock says, no, you slept an extra hour. I'm going to have to go up to Modesto there and go take a look at this area. Take the train, take my bike, ride around, put my camera on the handlebars of my bike, go chase the Met for a little bit. They called you in? Did you forget to do something? This is, I mean, the map didn't make this look like it was going to be that much of a run, but this is actually a good little run. I like this. Exactly. Well, hey, when you that's like right here in the middle of my stream. I get a message from my boss, you know, and it's like I got extra duties tomorrow, so I'll be at work all day for, you know, from about 6 o'clock in the morning till who knows when in the afternoon or evening. I get paid for it. You know, as long as you love your work, you never work a day in your life. Are you kidding? Okay, so I was talking with Chris in my Discord the other day, and he was talking about the wine company he's talking about is the one that was put in to this DLC. It's Gallo. Ernest and Julio Gallo is the actual name of the company. Probably the largest wine producer and spirits producer in the United States, if not in the world. And what's represented here, they have their own glass company, and it's, you know, I mean, it's huge. We'll see it. It's part of that's that Met 0204, so we'll see that. But he was telling me that they'll get a string of cars, and especially the tank cars have to be sanitized. So it'll get us, like here he's saying he's got 100 plus cars. If one car is not sanitized, they'll reject the entire string. And I can understand that. I mean, it's, you know, from the wine side of things, you don't want any kind of, like, foreign substance or anything like, or bad bacteria, anything in there that can change the taste of the wine. It's all about the quality of the wine and the spirit. So I can understand their position of, you got one bad car, there's probably going to be more bad cars because the company that we hire to sanitize the cars, they're not doing their job. All right, I need to look at the map here. I need to, let's slow this down. I'm going downhill. I didn't realize I wasn't paying attention there. I'm going to jump off the ground here. Jump on the ground. We are going to go this way. And then we're going to go down this track here. So, is that the Mets' fault? No. It's not the Mets' fault. Okay. Is it a pain? Well, the Mets going to get paid. I mean, we did our job. We dropped you, you hired us to drop cars. We dropped cars. Now you're hiring us to pick those cars back up and take them away. Then, yeah, you're going to pay us, and leave it on the business-wise. If you have a problem with the how sanitary these cars are, talk to the company that you hired to sanitize those cars. Now, if it's the Met that's responsible for sanitizing the cars, well, now they can push back on the Met and not pay them, and that's how that works. But if it's a third-party company or something other than the Met or BNSF that's responsible for sanitizing the cars, you know what? You're going to pay me. It's not my fault. I'm not responsible for sanitizing your tank cars. That's on whatever company you hire to do. And so if you want to recoup what you have to pay us through them, then go to them. All right, so we want to get past, I can see like the orange dots right there are not coming down here, so I need to get around that bend and into the straight right here, and I can drop these. Then I'll come back down and just run down this track here. We'll see, and then we'll see how this plays out too, because I will go grab the new config file and see if it changes any of the industries up in this area. I might have to reestablish my son's industry. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. You lost a day, honestly, Chris. We'll count down, make sure I'm in the land of 200 feet. I mean, it does suck. You got called in, and I get it. Hey, we need crews because they're rejecting the train. They need to get it out because you lose a day that you would have off, a day with your family. That part sucks. Don't get me wrong, that part sucks. But look at it this way: the time frame. It's early November. You just made some extra money for early December when you get your paycheck. Christmas presents. Thank you, E&J, for being as picky as you are, because you just bought Christmas presents for my kids. Let's see. So 2 crews. I guess it's no difference than having the complete juice train being rejected and denied. But I remember what went down with that too. Yeah. So it depends. I mean, it's a situational thing. I mean, I'm talking in general. Apply that one, apply that one, apply that one. Our first set of cars have been set out at an industry on the Modesto yard. Okay, we're going to go forward. All right, we're free. See, now here I would think, honestly, I probably would rework this industry if it was me. I would have it so that cars get set out here, picked up here, that kind of thing, and then have this industry is big enough that they would have their own little switcher, and then they let them move the cars around, be an industry. So, all right, let's go back, and then we're going to call the stream at this point here. Once we get back into the Riverbank yard. Hey, Chris, while I got you here, if you're still with us, the tag for Riverbank, is that RVB as in Romeo Victor Bravo, or is it RBB Romeo Bravo Bravo? Because that's what they have in the manual, and I thought it was actually RVB Romeo Victor Bravo. Since you're the BNSF man here. But then again, if he just got home, he probably just fell asleep. Can't blame him. I mean, I can go look it up. Oh, it's now no longer just a storage. Oh, that's too bad. But still, when it was active, what was its tag? Because I mean, I'm talking in reference to Run8. Because I think they might have mistyped it in the manual. I do believe that it's RVB. But then again, if I'm wrong, let me know. You're the man to know. Not 100% sure. I'll have to go look it up then. In there, and I got slow speed set for 10 miles an hour. All right, 9.9. No worries. That was weird. No brakes, okay. I think I only need one notch. There we go. Don't need two. What is funny is at the Met, only my crew can run the bank because we are signed off on the line coming from BNSF. Gotcha. So if I understand for teaching purposes that, okay, I guess first of all, what I'm getting out of that is, does the Met have track rights on the BNSF? And then you guys are signed off because BNSF wants a particular type of operation on that? No, they don't. Okay, I didn't think they did. I thought I was getting out of that you guys had track rights. Okay, so it is BNSF in this case here takes the cars, and for Run8 would take the cars out of Riverbank and take them down to the south yard and drop them there, and then the Met has a north yard where any cars that are going back to BNSF, that's where they put those cars, and that's how it's listed in the manual and the operations. So you guys operate that way. Your outbound cars go into the north yard, and then the inbound cars are brought into you and dropped in the south yard. And I think too, do you just also say just in Modesto, or do you bounce up to Stockton as well too? Because for some reason I thought you worked up in Stockton, but you're strictly Modesto. Yeah, I've already taught, and hey guys, I mean, when you watch this, I've already mentioned to Chris. I still need, and my daughter already reached out to me, Chris. I haven't forgot about you, but with her move and getting ready to, and everything that she's doing to get ready for her wedding, we haven't had a lot of time to play together. So she's waiting for me to finish this, and then we're gonna go play video games probably for the rest of the afternoon. So my plan, my daughter always takes priority, guys. So my plan to be in Discord to answer questions and help out any way I can today, that's now going to be put on hold because I'm going to go spend time with my daughter. Oops. You're in Stockton for BNSF, okay. But if we run out of room in our yard and Moron lets us, we can run to Riverbank and drop the extra car. Okay. So you kind of do have track rights, but not on a regular basis. You have that. It's like, okay, I've got extra cars. We can't fit it in our north yard, so hello BNSF, can we use your tracks and get those cars up to Riverbank? Gotcha. And you guys are basically signed off and certified. Going a little fast here because you guys have to know how BNS operates on their tracks. Got it. I'm assuming that's the group. Anyway, all right. All right, let's go back into the notch here. We were going a little bit fast because we had a downhill right there, but now we got a slight uphill, so I'm losing speed. So I'm just going to gear this up. Oh, hello. Wake up! Wake up! Can't tell if my bell's ringing or not. All I know is I can feel it because the rail driver has that subwoofer in it. I can feel it on my desk. I had the subwoofer all turned all the way up. So I don't have much left to do on that string, so I'll have it all sorted by the time I do the next stream, which might be, depending on how my days go, I might have a midweek stream here, guys. Wow, so 100 cars. Yeah, I can see it. 100 cars. Modesto to Barstow. Get those cars out of the Modesto yard. So all these houses right here reminds me of an experience. Up in Sacramento at the railway museum, they have an excursion train. And just like that, you see the model here, there's houses built right up to the edge of the right-of-way, which the right-of-way had been there since the early to mid 1800s, because that right-of-way was built to service a Union fort. And then once the fort went away, that right-of-way was used to service farms, you know, and agriculture. So it's been there for over 100 years. Well, they built houses right up to the right-of-way. The excursion train uses the right-of-way, and this guy comes out, he buys a house, and then he wants to shut the train down because it's disturbing. You bought the house next to tracks. What were you thinking? What are you going to do? Go buy a house next to an airport and tell the planes to quit flying? Once again, it's not about you. Okay? It's not all about you. Alright, I'm going to bring this to a stop. Let me get a jump on the ground here. Ooh, I'm going that way. I want to go this way. Oh, wrong one. Oh, bell's ringing. I can hear the bell. Turn that off. Oops, wrong button again. A little picky on that. Forward, back into the yard. decent noise abatement. But the nice thing is Sacramento honors that, honors the history of rail. I mean, that area, that excursion comes right out of Old Town Sacramento, and I mentioned it the other day that Old Town Sac, that's where the Pony Express ended. That's where the very first spike was driven by the Central Pacific to start the Transcontinental Railroad. So there's so much history, and that train is a part of the history. And what are you going to do when they run steam? So they do run a diesel just like this. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere I should put up. But then they also occasionally will run steam. You know, and the day that and in fact the day that I rode it, it was a holiday weekend. It was like Memorial Day weekend anyway. You know, so. You should have heard the guy. That was so funny because there were so many people that were on that excursion train. As he was yelling at the train, almost everybody was yelling back at him. It was funny. Alright, so let's see. I got that. I think that's the med that I gotta go deliver. I got a lot of cars for the med. Chris, I got a lot of work for you to do. Need a Sierra skin for here. Yeah. Give it time. I mean, if I have to, I've got the San Joaquin Valley Railroad skin. I'd use that one. Ooh. What's going on with that train right there? That purple being, the tag being low on the car like that and purple, that particular train's got, that particular train, not that particular car has got an issue. Alright, we're going to go take a look and see what that issue is. You need the DLC first? And Bakersfield? Yeah. Get it, because Stockton's coming. I'm telling you. I can actually safely say not only is it coming, it's actually breathing heavy at this moment right now. It's close. Because I think that Stockton was actually, without saying it, I think that they overestimated how much there was to do in Stockton. And then as they started to make the DLC, which would be Fresno to Stockton, they realized it needed. And that was his statement that he made, that I found in a thread, that, yeah, once they made it, they realized it wasn't one DLC, it had to be two because of how much there was to do. So, alright, so before I finish it, we'll get this down. We'll shut these down, and then we're going to take a look at that car and see what's going on with that car. So something's defective because of the purple. And it's not like, and honestly being said, it's not going to be like hot brakes or anything like that. We'll see. At least I don't expect it to be. So we're going to take a look. We might actually be my first bad order car, which means at some point I'm going to have to run around the other side and pull that one out. No, I don't think it's going to take that long. I understand what you mean. I get it, you know. And really, when did, well, Roseville came out, it wasn't 10 years ago when Roseville came out, but the gap I think you're talking about is going to be the sake of the Goebel. And he kind of said that too, that it's not an anti-UP thing, it's more just there was more opportunity for things to do on the BNSF side down there, that Goebel was just, you know, hey, you know, it was kind of like, well, maybe someday we'll do it. And now that, you know, they're running up to Roseville and UP is a huge part of that, that's almost that they have to address that now. So, and that's something that they are going to fix. So, and that was that little winky face that they're going to fix. They are going to fix that sacred global gap, and then they're going to fix the other gap, which was kind of comical because everybody's trying to figure out what other gap. Well, the gap is going to be from Stockton to Roseville. So, all right, slam on that brake, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect these locomotives to this car here, and we're going to go find that purple one. Yeah, but even it's just his cryptic nature is the winky face talking about, you know, Sacred to Global, and then the other gap, which was the big question that when they came out with, you know, Roseville, well, why did you come out with Roseville? Why is there such a big gap between, you know, Fresno and Roseville? Why didn't you, what's going on there? Why, you know? And I get it. It's iconic, you know, going over the Sierra Mountains is an iconic run. Part of the, you know, it's part of the Transcontinental Railroad, but then, you know, that's what really started trains going all the way across the country. If it hadn't have been for that, we wouldn't have BNSF and everything else. So I mean, it just it just needs to be fixed. Yuma would be nice too, but and I guess that was the point I got sidetracked. That was the point I was going to make when we talk about modding and farm sim. That if he would just allow the community to start making maps, you know, and then say, okay, here's my map. I want to see if I want to have this in, you know, or put it out there. Hey guys, I need your help. We want to make Yuma, you know, and let the community start to do it. All right, so I applied the brakes. I set which I did that on the rail driver, so it sets the handbrakes all the way through the train, and then automatically puts the reverser in the neutral. So I've set that on to match everything up on the rail driver. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click to shut these things down. I'm also going to turn the light off since they're now stationary. Let's go find that car. I think it's this one right there. Okay, let's get back on the ground. So purple tag, there's a problem. It comes from above the car down below. Fixing dragging equipment, that's all there is. So we got something, there's like a chain or something dragging. That's an easy fix. Boom. It's not going to let me fix it. What's going on here? I said it's an easy fix. Why are you not going to let me fix it? Uh-oh. Okay. It will not let me fix it, so we're going to bad order this car, which we will get to that at a later time. I'll make a note of that. Those are good. I have never had a car that I couldn't fix. You just click on that and it fixes it. All right, well, we'll get that taken care of. Set that out and reset it if I have to. Let me see what happens if I do that. Actually, relinquish. Then take it. There it goes. Relinquish and take it. Fixing equipment done. Tag moved back up to the top up here. No longer purple. We fixed it. There is a solution for everything. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Wow, we got almost 3 hour stream. So I will be in my Discord later if you need anything. There is in my Discord channel, if you've actually subscribed to the Discord channel, and we get access to NorCal. I'm going to have to set it up there and put it up above so it's not part of the NorCal area. But I did make a question and answer forum in my Discord. So if you have questions about Run 8, I guarantee you somebody else out there is going to have questions about Run 8. So post those questions there, please. That would be greatly appreciated, because when I answer those questions, not only am I helping you, I'm helping somebody else. So, and also too, as well, you know, if you like the content, same thing. I'm going to ask subscribe, and especially the thumbs up. That helps the analytics, helps me get Run 8 out there so people know about it. Also, if you've got friends that you go and do rail fanning with, or they like model railroading and they need something virtual to scratch that model railroading itch, please go ahead and share my videos with them as well too. I would greatly appreciate it. So anyway, next week, definitely Sunday, because Saturday is a no-go. I'm going to tell you that right now. So definitely Sunday morning in, just like that. And I'll try to get one in during the middle of the week. We'll continue operations here on the Modesto, Fresno Modesto DLC. And we're going to try and get all these cars down to the Met, sort it out, get industries full, get things going, so Otto can start getting us more cars. All right, I still need help getting into that NorCal channel. I know that you have rights. I checked on you this morning, as a matter of fact, because I wanted to make sure. I noticed that people have been asking for it, and I had a bot. I don't think the bot's working, so that when you say, yes, I want Run 8, it'll automatically give you NorCal. So anyway, but we'll get that fixed. But I do know that you have it, Derek. You have access to it, so you're part of the NorCal, so you should be able to see everything. If it's a specific channel, let me know. It's probably permissions on this side that I missed. So, but we'll talk about that later. So right now, I'm going to go play video games with my daughter, and see how things are going with her. Also, Derek dropped me a DM to remind me, so that way I can, because if not, I can tell right now, I'll probably forget. So anyway, thanks guys. Quincy, always great chatting with you today. DRP, good to see you again. I know, let's see, Caustic, I know you're not out there. You're over in Europe somewhere, so you're probably having a weekend. That's all right. I'll catch you later. Chris, thanks for coming in. I have not forgotten about you. We will catch up. I'll send you a DM in Discord. And then for everybody else, Kung Fu Beer, and everybody else that was in here watching, Elscar, all you guys, appreciate you so very much for popping in and chatting with me. This is getting great. So love you guys. Have a good weekend. I'll catch you next week. Peace. Be good.